Hello, this is Bilal Siddiqui and you're watching Khuaab Library Project. This is 8 minutes of the chapter by the name of 8 minutes from 10 minutes and 38 seconds. So this chapter is a very small chapter where the taste told is about sulfuric acid and how that tastes and how actually the smell is. So something bad happens in this particular chapter, really bad event that happens, and it almost like kills the main protagonist. And so there's not a lot to learn about that conversation and about that scene, more to so that do not get involved with such people, do not get into closed spaces with people who you do think have anger issues, who you do think have problems, like cohabiting with other humans. Like that's like just a bad recipe. Another thing is like the introduction of a new character by the name of Zainab, and it's very interesting how she actually has put the 122 centimeters just after her name, and it's very like I thought that that's very intelligent, and because you actually put the biggest thing that someone can use against you for satire purposes, and you put it in your name, so people are like, okay, you cannot make fun of me for this because that is what I already know. Because a lot of people, when they make judgments about someone, which is like quite factual, which is quite apparent, they think that, okay, I have to tell them this because they might not know it. Because if someone is fat, you need to tell them that they are fat, and if you don't tell them, it's just like that big burden on you. Oh my god, this person is fat and I have to tell them. Don't, because they probably have heard it so many times, they probably know it, they have seen themselves in the mirror, right? And there's a rule that I literally learned, that do not point out the things in other people which they cannot solve in 10 seconds. So if there's something, if there's like a lizard on their shoulder, or if there's like some bee like sitting on their feet, or if there's like something on their nose, or if they're bleeding, then you tell them, because they can solve in like 10 seconds. But if there's something which they cannot solve in 10 seconds at all, like they're fat, they are ugly, they are not good looking, they don't have long hair, they don't have any, say you can say the apparent things, they have worn the wrong color of t-shirt, they cannot change that in 10 seconds. So don't complain for those things, because those things are not going to change. Whether you complain or you don't complain. So don't try to make them change that thing, because they can't do it in 10 seconds. They probably cannot do it in the next year or so. So just don't. So that's going to be it. This is a small chapter. There's not much to talk about in this chapter. So the next story is coming up is of Zainab. So I'm looking forward for that. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.